Kaka Martin!
Problema na kasi may nuktok.
Nala ko'y pangutahan nir ba? Ngano ang sapa nir kay naam gapoy tubig bisag wagauwan.
Kuha man good por. Even kung walay ulan, nagya po na tubig sa suba. Kaya ang groundwater o tubig gikan sa nga taas nga kabukiran sa sapa inahinay mosulod sa suba. Mao ni ang gitawag nga base flow.
Ah, mao ba nir? Unsa din ang base flow nir?
Base flow is the portion of river flow that comes from groundwater, which keeps the river flowing even during dry periods.
Ay, salamat din nir. Kaya na ako'y bagong na-explore karon. Kung sa mga maabot na gusto ko mag-engineer na makatabang din sa kuha. Kaya sa pagbalik sa tubig.
Iti.
Iti!
Exactly. Today, we'll explore how these concepts help engineers manage water resources efficiently. Water is essential for life and human development. In hydrology, understanding how water is stored and how stream flow varies over time is key to designing hydraulic structures and managing resources. Chapter 10 focuses on two tools that engineers rely on: pondage, which regulates short-term water storage, and flow duration curves, which summarize stream flow variability over time. Together, they provide insights for reservoir design, hydroelectric power generation, and water supply planning. Pondage refers to the temporary storage of water in a reservoir or basin. It allows engineers to hold excess water during high flow periods and release it during low flow periods. Unlike large dams, pondage is usually short-term and focused on balancing daily or weekly fluctuations.
The main purpose of pondage is flow regulation. In simple terms, pondage helps engineers control how much water flow in the river or system at any given time. So when there's too much water, such as during heavy rainfall, pondage allows this excess water to be temporarily stored instead of flowing downstream all at once. Then, during periods of low rainfall or dry season, the stored water can be released gradually to maintain a more uniform discharge. So this regulation is especially important in hydraulic power generation. So hydropower plants requires a steady flow of water to produce electricity efficiently. With the help of pondage, sudden change in river can be minimized, allowing power generation to remain stable when rainfall is irregular. So pondage also plays a critical role in ensuring water availability by balancing high and low. It helps provide dependable water supply for domestic use, irrigation, industrial purposes, particularly during dry season. Overall, pondage reduces the impact of variable rainfall on downstream system instead of experiencing extreme flooding during wet season and water shortage during dry season. Flow regulation through pondage allows safer, a more reliable, and more sustainable water management. So the required pondage depend on difference between inflow and desired outflow over a certain period of time. To understand this, engineer first analyze an inflow hydrograph which shows how much water enters the reservoir at the different times. At the same time, they define a target or desired outflow, which represent how much water needs to be released to meet downstream demand. Whenever inflow is greater than outflow, excess water is stored in the reservoir. On the other hand, when inflow becomes less than the required outflow, the stored water is released. This balance between inflow and outflow determines how much pondage is needed. Mathematically, this is expressed using the equation S is equals to summation of difference between inflow and outflow multiplied by the time interval. In this equation, S represents as the required storage or pondage, I is the inflow, O is the outflow, and the delta T is time interval being considered. By applying this calculation over time, engineer can ensure that reservoir has enough storage capacity to meet demand while safely handling variables and unpredictable flows. A flow duration curve is commonly called FDC, a graphical tool used in hydrology to describe how stream flow varies over time. It shows a percentage of time that our particular stream flow is equal or exceed during a given period of record. In other words, it tells us how often certain amount of water is available in a river or stream. Instead of looking daily or monthly discharge values separately, the flow duration curve summarizes long-term stream flow behavior in a single graph. This makes it easier for engineers to understand flow reliability, and especially when planning water-related projects. By analyzing FDC, engineers can quickly identify high flow condition, average flow, low flow condition, which are all essential in water resources planning and management. To construct a flow duration curve, engineers begin by collecting stream flow data, which are usually recorded as daily discharge over a long period of time. The first step, to arrange these stream flow values in ascending order from the highest to the lowest flow. Once sorted, each value assigned a rank with the highest discharge given a rank of 1. Next, the exceedance probability is calculated. This represents the percentage of time that our particular flow is equal or exceed and is computed using the equation P is equals to M divided by N plus 1 multiplied by 100%. In this equation, M is the rank of discharge value and N is the total number of flow observation. Finally, the flow values are plotted against their corresponding exceedance probabilities. Connecting these points produce a flow curve which clearly shows the stream flow varies over time.
The upper part of the curve represents high flow or flood conditions, while the lower part shows low flow or drought conditions. Engineers use these regions to assess water reliability, plan for irrigation, and manage hydroelectric production.
To better understand how flow duration curve is used, let us consider an example. So suppose we have a river where daily discharge data have been recorded over several years. This data represent how much water flows in the river each day under different conditions. Following the steps discussed earlier, the discharge value are the first arranged in descending orders and assigned corresponding ranks. Using these ranks, this exceed probability for each discharge is computed. Once the exceedance probabilities are calculated, the discharge value are plotted against the percentage of time they are exceeded, forming the flow duration curve. Now let us interpret this in the graph. If discharge of 5 cubic meter per second is 80% of the time, this means that the river provides at least this amount of flow for the most of the year. This level of reliability is particularly important for water supply system and base hydropower operations, which require consistent and dependable flows rather than occasional high flows. Through this example, we can see how flow duration curves transform raw stream flow data into a meaningful information that engineers can use for planning and decision making.
Pondage and FDCs are applied in real-world engineering projects. Hydropower plants use pondage to maintain continuous energy production. Irrigation systems rely on FDCs to ensure dependable flows during dry periods. Similarly, water supply systems use these tools to plan for long-term reliability and efficient resource management.
To conclude, pondage refers to a temporary storage of water used to control and regulate flow, especially during peak and low discharge periods. It helps ensure a more stable and controlled water release, which is essential in managing reservoir and hydraulic system. On the other hand, a flow duration curve or FDC provides a clear picture of how stream flow varies over time. It shows the percentage of time that a certain flow is equal or exceed, allowing engineers to assess water availability, reliability, and system performance. When used together, pondage and flow duration curves support informed engineering decisions by balancing flow regulation and variability, ultimately promoting efficient and sustainable water resources management.